Hello, it's Lindsay from the Vintage Button. Slightly different view. So I'll move my foot out the way. I went out on a little jolly with my husband and we called in at Risby Barnes, which is near Bury St Edmunds, to pick up a present for my sister and her wife. And I ended up spending quite a bit of money. So this is probably, I'm not going to say that, but it hopefully will be the last haul before Christmas. Yeah, I need to focus on if I go to Risby Barnes looking for things for family and stuff like that. So I bought the spoons from a lovely place called Cutlery with Attitude, and it's kind of I've got them to engrave it, and it's like a vintage spoon with like some engraving on it. That's beside the point. Well, no, that is the point, because that's why I went there. And I came away with all of this. I spent over £100, which is the most I have ever spent on antique stuff for junk journaling or slow stitching. Now, we're going to talk about this cabinet. I have bought a cabinet similar to this, but it was half the price. And it's now my nightstand. So, it was bought as a useful piece of furniture. Okay, should we just dig into it? This is not how these came. They were in a ratty, horrible plastic bag, and I wanted to have a look at them. So this was £3. So some of these things were utter bargains, and let me try and see if I can do this without it falling over. It's like quite a decent container, and there's hundreds of cards, and some of them are duds. There's a few Ninja Turtle cards in here, but there's also some antique cigarette cards. There's lots of tea cards with like nice kind of like butterfly images. Like, that's really nice. This is a cigarette card of a solar corona, like kind of really unusual things. Lots of costume cards, old ships. Like, I had a blast. It took me an hour to go through this, and I was very happy at the end of it. And I already have a tin. Let me just move things. I'm reaching up to my ephemera shelves behind me. I already have a tin of these that I've got from other places similarly, and this is eclipsed. I thought this was a good deal, the amount that I got. I think it was £1.50, and then I've paid extra for little bits like this, so I think it's probably more than £1.50 because I've probably done similar things, but there you go. So these are going to be added to that, and I'm going to have to find a bigger tin to put them all in. But that's okay. That's a nice problem to have. My husband did say to me, I think you need to do some sort of shop, dear, just to sort of move things on. So I think I am going to have an Etsy shop. And I think it's going to be sort of sustainable, truly sustainable, not brought in from overseas junk journaling supplies. So I'll be making some naked journals and doing ephemera packs. It's not going to cost the earth, because I don't believe in that. But yeah, we'll see. It's going to be up and running by September, I think. So I've got these beautiful books that are just crying out to be changed into a junk journal. The pages have got like a sheen to them, so they won't make necessarily good pages to create within the journal, but you girls got a lot of stuff to make journals with. 1952 circa, that's how much they were, how old they are, but they've got some of them beautiful images that can be used. They're too young to scan in and sort of replicate in other journals, so I'll make cards out of these, I think. And the coloured ones have got a black and white on the back, so they'll either be something that I just shove in a pocket, I'll put in a pack. But yeah, so I've got one Observer's Book of British Birds, one Observer's Book of Wildflowers, really pretty little books, and they were do you know what, I just thought, no, I thought, because I went to some places and they were half price, those things weren't, because if I got all those for £1.50, I think I'll be doing a jig, all the cards. These things now, from now on, I got for half price, but I'm going to talk about, yeah, all of those things. I got a cigarette box, which was £4, which I think is reasonable for what it is. I put my ephemera in them. It's not big enough to have all my cards, my tea cards, but there'll be something else that will go in there. I think you can see the main treasure underneath. These are leaflets or booklets that I have a plan, and this is kind of how I'm going to create when I do my junk journal July. Let me see. And I bought all these paper bits after I bought this cabinet, so this was like after we went and had some lunch, and my husband was like, yeah, I think you need to do stuff, so this is me doing stuff. So this is Junk Journal July, that's made out of one of these, and I made it into a book. So I think I'm going to make a series of these and put them on Etsy, the blank versions from different leaflets I find. Now some of them are more delicate than others, so I'll have to do some strengthening of them, but I have a plan of how to do that. I don't know if this is in copyright or not. I'm going to check. Is this the one that's got, there's some that's got some really nice adverts. But it's a story. Anyway, there's that. This is a Brooke Bond, and it's complete, it says. I got this for £1.50, and I think that was £1, because this stall, it was half price. I'm not telling you which stall it is, you have to go reading through everything, but it's the one I sort of run to, this stall, because everything's half price, and I've probably got all the best bits now. So yeah, this has already got the tea cards in, and what I'll do is I'll treat it and do it similarly so that there's a mixture of its own pages that I actually masterboarded. I can't really show it because I've covered them up so much. I'm going to do a process video because I've got a lot of the same thing that I can use to do a process video with. These, I think I can do the same thing. This is the Co-op Society in Cambridge. I need to check if this is in copyright because I think it's just beautiful. And it's sort of like saving your stamps. But I thought that could be made into sort of a booklet journal. I've got postcards. I always have a look through the postcards because just the flower images are so pretty. Look at that. And they're just so pretty. So postcards. This is very delicate. I didn't realise it because it was in a bag, but I paid 50p for it, so I'm not complaining. And I'm going to check to see if it's in copyright. I can't imagine it would be, to the point that anybody would be going to be worried about it. So it's Britain's Unique Spotlight Handbooks, Coaching Spotlights, Peeps Behind the Scenes. And it's about coach tours. So it's Teignmouth to Newquay. So that's like Devon, Cornwall way. But look how beautiful this is. So I thought that would make a great one of those journals. So I'm going to have to really stabilise this. But I would like to scan it. I might scan it just for me to use, because I love the colour. I love that blue with the aged patina. But look, there's sort of advertisements. So that's wonderful. I've got another tea card, but it's a different orientation, and I just thought that was amazing. That would make a fantastic junk journal. In the same way. as the Journal July. And this is an album of film stars. And I paid £2 for this. It's complete. And look at that. I don't think this is in copyright because of how old. We've got like Niles Astor. I don't recognise any of these people. 1902. That's when he was born. So yeah, I don't know. Has it got any more? What's the ones? Who are these people? I don't know who any of these people are. 1914. So it's like 1920s, 30s. So it might just be out of copyright. I don't know. I'll have a look. But how amazing would that be? That's one of those journals. This is a Nature from BBC Radio for schools. I remember this type of stuff from when I was at school. You would have radio programmes that you had to listen to, and you would all sit on the carpet, and the teacher would be cassette tapes that they would get, and they would be produced by the BBC. And this is a booklet that goes along with the different radio programmes. So like a child would have this as they went through the different radio programmes. So I thought that it's a bigger one, but I thought that'll make a really nice bright junk journal. Then I've got this booklet on chess. Same thing. I just thought the pages would be really interesting. You could turn it into lots of different types of journals. Look at that. I'll put that in. So yeah, so there's that. And then I think this is in copyright, so this is just for me. It's got Jingle Bells. I don't know if it is actually Jingle Bells, Jingle Bells. No, it's not, but it was 50p. So there were some bargains. And then there was this. This is a drawer from the this is a cabinet, and this is the drawer from underneath. And I was thinking, how can I do this in the junk journal hole, because it'll not sit on my desk. So you're on my green desk that I think actually will become my sewing desk, and I'm sat on the bed currently. And this is this amazing find that I found. I reckon the cotton reels in this thing has almost paid for it, and I can do amazing things with these cotton reels. I've had so they're not the strongest, but some of them that are going to be absolutely fine for slow stitching. See, that's not very strong at all, but look at the colour. So I would be able to do embellishments with these threads, and I intend to use them for embellishments, and they'll get added to when I do a tour of my haberdashery shelves in the hallway that needs to be expanded now somewhat because of all of this. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. Yeah, I've already got lots of these, and when they get empty, I think there is an empty one somewhere, I'll make snippet rolls. So my vintage button thing that I use, let me see if I can get it. I make snippet rolls that are like this type of snippet roll. So you can make snippet rolls that you literally snip things off, or you can make them that like say a word, or even almost like a card, like a sentiment. So I made that. It was when I used to do craft stalls. It would go over a tea tray, like a tiered tea tray, that I would put all my little slow stitcheries on. So I think you can tell there's going to be slow stitch content coming our way soon, and some junk journal content, because I've got these. I've got so many of these now, and I'm certain that I'm going to have to go through and throw a lot of things away. Let me get back. But look at these. I'll be able to scan these in. An amazing colour of pink. This is just inches. And there's one that I can put on my desk, which will be useful. There's two actually I can put on my desk that would be useful. So we've got a few of these in various colours and then various degrees of repair. Oh, look at that. Yeah, I'll definitely be scanning some of these in. Make like pages of them. You can make your own washi or something that's that. And it's proper, true vintage. Not made up. Look at this. It's so worn out. The yumminess on that. So yeah. I've got one of those in green, like the pink one. One in a brownie colour. And another one in white. Are you beginning to see why £8 was really good value? I've got another one in like a creamy white. Another one. So, and then this, I think one of them, where is it? Or it might be in the one, but there's this one, which is centimetres. And then there's one of these, or it might be in the other bits below, that's got centimetres and inches, which I thought would be really useful. So I have myriad colours. This was in the drawer, but this is not why I bought this little cabinet. There's loads of other stuff. There's darning thread. Look at the little hexie. I'm going to wash that, put that through the washing machine, it'll come up like new. I've got darning mushrooms with like a, you put that on, you put a sock over, do the darning thing. Got two of those. One's an oval, one's a, no, they're both oval. Little sewing kit that you'd put in your bag. How cute is this? Got pins, I mean useful things. This is really interesting. I'm looking at the time, 17 minutes, we're alright. I don't want it to be too long. But it's a marker, so you wet it and then you put it on your clothes to like write your name and you leave it for a day. And then you wash it and it's like a permanent pencil. Got lots of little belt buckles. There's all kinds of stuff in here. But that's not the main bit. So it was £85. And so I was walking through, I went to my stall, there's two, at Risby Barnes, there's two big barns. There's one at the far end that I call the smelly barn, just because it smells a bit mildewy. And then there's like a really traditional old English thatched barn that is just the big barn. But we went to the smelly barn first, because it was on the way back from the cutlery shop. And I bought, I think I got my books and my tea cards, and that's what I kind of go there. And the cigar box. I actually went in for a cigar box. And then I saw this. We were walking back through and I went, oh, it's a sewing caddy. That's pretty. And so I just went and I lifted. This is where it's not going to work, Lindsay. I have to sit funny. I lifted the lid. Oh. Bit of a rubbish reveal. There we go. Look at that. And I just looked at my husband and he looked at the tag and he was like, it's £85. And I was like, I don't care. If this is what it's like on the top bit, I want it because it's going to have some good stuff in it. So again, like I said, these are not the strongest. I wouldn't use them. Look at that, olive. But, oh, actually that one is quite strong. I would thread them up 4 times and use them as an embellishment. Like, these words are like just triple threaded up on a needle. You get the true beautiful vintage colours. Just look at that. I might be taking pictures of them as well. It's just so yummy. I just can't get over how beautiful the colours are. So there's greens and blues, and then we've got pinks and reds and stuffs. Some gold. all the colours. So I thought, that's nice. In fact, no, I'll leave it like that. And then I opened the drawer and saw what was in the drawer, and we were just like, okay, we'll get it. And it's on wheels. So my husband picked it up and we went to the till, and we had to wait. There was somebody in front of us. And while we were waiting, I just started going inside, and I nearly because there's so much cool stuff in here. So I went in for a cigarette box. I've got vintage tins. Look at that. What's it for? It's too faded, I can't even see. George W. Horner and Co. Chesterley Street, County of Durham. So that's north west England. More cottons. More like utilitarian cottons. I've got these, are interesting. They are band-aids. We call them plasters in the UK. But it's like a little sewing kit that obviously must have been part of a promotion when they first came out. So they might find their way into something. I've got some gold seal needles. These are really good needles. I'm going to test them all to see if they're still sharp. This one's really interesting. I'm sure I'll be able to scan this in. So this is Betterware, brushes, mops and polishes. But this is actually something called ladder stop. Immediately, you notice the beginning of a ladder in your stockings. Detach one of the pencils. They look like matches. Moisten the head of the same or the stocking, then apply gently, rubbing to both ends of the run. Presented with compliments of Betterware Products Limited, Romford, Essex. So it's actually like merch, promotion merch. Look at this little tiny tin. It's got some pins in it. I don't think it's meant to be pins. I don't know. Could be pills. Is it Bruno Flake? I don't know. I think this is probably tobacco. And this was like kind of really, it reminded me of being a little kid, this tin, because you would get a tin like that from school, and they used to call them tin words, and it would be how you would learn to read, because there'd be lots of little flashcards that the teacher would have made. Tin words. I've got honey, glycerin and lemon pastels. What have we got in here? Pins, safety pins, and a big button like a press stud. Oh, nappy pins. It's just like all the elastics in the world. This is on a yummy. Again, I'm going to see if I can scan that in. You know, if the company still exists. Oh, this. Oh, I'm checking the time. I don't want to go over half an hour. But look at these patches. That looks like something the brownies would have. But when we've got tomatoes, a bumblebee, a lovely rose times 2. Can you see why I was excited? It's like slow stitch and junk journal heaven. Got some more like random threads. All of the press studs and the hooks and the eyes. And wonderful. I mean, look at that for junk journal closure. I think there's a few of them in there. This. It's got a little ring on it to put on your end. So it's all kind of specialty needles. It's just beautiful. Of course, I have to have vintage buttons, because we are the vintage button, and there are lots. They're going to get put in a nice jar. running out of space. More threads, laces and ribbons. Beautiful border ongles. Oh, look at these. And they're still sharp. I tested them. They're going in my main sewing kit. Look at these big bobbins. Got 2 of those, so I won't be short of black thread. And I think these are probably more synthetic. Oh no, they're not. They're cotton. So again, they'll just be used for embellishments. Lots of darning thread on cards. For darning your socks. Not that anybody does that anymore. Packets of needles in the original packaging. Again, I'll see if some of this can be scanned in. I've got crochet hooks, the seam rippers, 1 carder. So you would, like, if you got wool that you wanted to prepare to spin, you would have 2 and you would go like that and sort of sort the threads out. So yeah, I've got 1 of those. I don't know what I'll do with it. Look at these. These are cool. They need to go in the tin with the other ones. Or I might just hang them all on that. That's a kilt pin. Like a Scottish kilt. But I remember having kilts when I was little. It was like the very in thing. Kilt and an Aran jumper and a pair of red wellies. And you were, you know, in with it. And you have to have a kilt pin. Some very old school children's scissors. Pins. I don't know what that is. It's some sort of darning machine. Some scissors. Trying to not get my head in the shot. And some, is it Aida? It's kind of the ends off tapestries that they've kept. Again, this would be great for like little slow stitcheries or even junk journals. You can make a tag out of that. Or add it to a tag. And that's the bottom of the thing. That was my over £100 haul. Sorry, not sorry. We didn't go on holiday, so I find it hard to spend money, but I've spent so much money of my tax money, and I still think I've got a few £100 left. I'm not trying to spend it all, but this was made very easy today. And I will try and make some sense of it, make some plans with it. It's got me excited. We're definitely going to be doing things. And I hope you guys enjoyed the extra video, because I was like, because I have a plan of what videos I have roughly in my head. I don't have it written down because that's just not me. So I was going to do something different for tomorrow. So I don't know if I'm going to put this up on tomorrow, which would be Friday. I'll just put it up today and then add a different one. I might just do that. Okay. Thank you very much. This has been Lindsay from the Vintage Button with my mega antique and vintage haul. I say antique because like these cards, the postcards in particular, are 100 years old easy. And some of those cigarette cards were. Yeah. Thank you very much. Please do the like, the comment, all the little YouTubey things that help my little channel grow. And I'll be back. I don't think with any big hauls soon, but definitely making shizzle with the shizzle. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. Bye bye.